What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be attending the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway cleanup ride, sponsored by Cummins Off-road. Coddiwomple Overland is proudly powered by Dan Cummins Off-road, home of the Lifetime powertrain. Also in part by Overland Vehicle Systems, Faster Flate, and Trail Rated Coffee. Twice a year, supporters of the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway get together at Callies Campground to do a weekend of cleaning up the trails. We got there early on Saturday morning to meet up with some friends before it got really crowded and really busy. We signed in at registration and got signed up for our group, which was the medium group and was the most difficult group they had for the day. Four-wheel drives were showing up left and right of all different kinds, sizes, and makes. Everybody was just hanging around chatting, trying to get woke up and get ready for the day's adventure. Some of them had camped the night before, and most of them planned on camping for the night after. It's fun to come to events like this sometimes just to see what all the different vehicles were and what people are wheeling. It also makes us feel good to be able to help clean up an area that's so close to home and we enjoy wheeling at. Callies Campground was getting ready to cook up some of their smoked ribs, and the store was already open with breakfast available. The next thing we knew, it was time to make a little trip around the campground and start lining up for the day's groups.
See if that is where it's weekend.
Yeah. As the groups got lined up, each one of the trail leaders had their own independent trail briefings.
Entirely up to you, but we'll holler out when we get to those places on the GMRS. And if anybody wants a spot at any time, please stop, grab the attention of somebody around you in front or behind, and I will happily come spot you, and I'm sure just about anybody in the group will help spot you as well if need be. So we're going to run down Cow Creek and just follow the byway down the mountain springs, and after we finish that, then we're just going to play it by ear and see where we end up.
After our driver's meeting, everybody loaded up and made their way towards the trails. We had a total of 9 rigs in our group. The weather was perfect. It was going to turn out to be a great day. Having fun and trail riding was not the main purpose of the day. Today's jobs were to post some signs and pick up some garbage, but we got to wheel along the way. We did get the lucky draw. We got Mountain Springs assigned to us as our trail area to clean up for the day. This is one of our favorite trails, and it doesn't take long at all to start getting into some of the obstacles. The other thing it didn't take long to do was develop a traffic jam. The first major obstacle of Mountain Springs is a very rutted uphill. This is actually the bypass. Our group was just as diverse as everything else that was at Callies. We had a little bit of everything with us. Some were a little more capable than others, but everybody worked together and we all had a great day. It didn't take long at all before we were having to get together and help each other out.
Oh, nasty. Well, so much for going around.
This will be the very beginning and the first of multiple rescues for the day. Everybody worked together and got along great to get each one of these vehicles through the obstacles. I've made it up this obstacle several times in the past, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. But I didn't realize just how rutted and ate out it's gotten. I gave it a couple of attempts, but being 6,200 pounds and it just being slick and rutted out, I didn't want to beat on the Jeep too much and didn't want to tear the terrain up too much more either, so we decided to go on a ram. I won't get you.
Oh, you're good.
All right, look that way a little bit, come on. Keep your momentum, keep it moving, keep it moving. Keep moving. Keep it moving. Up this side. Up this side. Keep it moving. You got it. There you go.
Yeah, 2 years ago, it wasn't that, but you had enough clearance.
Coming off the main obstacle and get back onto the bypass is a little tricky in itself.
You're in the mud over there. You just dug your fender through the mud.
There was one Jeep that was a lot lighter, a little taller, and a lot more loud pedal was used that did actually make it up this obstacle. This trail sure had seen a lot of traffic since the last time we was here. The obstacles did get a lot worse than what we remembered them being. This particular area right here got us a little more tippy than Deb's accustomed to or even likes. As much articulation as this Jeep has got, I think I actually picked the front wheel up off the ground. It wasn't just mud, it was rocks too, and deep ruts like this.
Stop right there.
Kelly was making obstacles like this look easy in the Power Wagon, making believers again everywhere he goes.
I don't know where to go.
Kelly didn't have the only full-size truck in the group. Jared and Sarah had their trail boss out, and that thing really surprised a lot of people in the group.
Try to slow that momentum down.
Easy, go straight down. Of course, the Jeeps made easy work of this obstacle.
Come back to me. Coming down.
Even the ones that just slipped down into the washout just drove right out of it. About halfway through the trail, we made it to the old house. This is where we had lunch and just hung out for a little bit, letting everybody get to know each other. After lunch, we were right back after it. And the obstacles and the rescues were not near over yet. Sometimes you just got to hit it a little bit harder.
They're not high centered anymore. Here anyway.
I told him a little more momentum, you'd be able to clear that. He said, yeah, but it looks like a pretty bad nosedive. Well, it does.
This is actually a pretty big vertical drop-off. It tends to really favor shorter wheelbase vehicles, unless you're in a power wagon on 37s.
Good deal.
If you're in a Jeep on 37s, you just roll through it without even getting your belly dirty. You're about to see the biggest disadvantage to having a truck with a low departure and approach angle, especially if you have your tow hitch still in.
Hit the bumper.
Yep, Jared buried his tow hitch like a turn plow. This truck is way more capable than any of us gave it credit for when we first started. But this particular obstacle is just the worst part for a long wheelbase type vehicle like this. With just a little bit of help, he was right back on his way. Next we were off to our final big obstacle. Now these little rock shelves don't seem like much, but when you put mud on them that's got grease in it, it gets treacherous. Even with some great coaching, sometimes you just got to pull a little line.
Yep.
As evidence of the beauty ring over there on the hillside.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is trash.
Yes, we will pick that up on the way through.
I left my 78 Chevy at home, and I mean, what color is it?
Jimmy decided to try his luck at a little bit different line. With a little bit of extra moving around, he was able to make it work. Next it was Kelly's turn, slick tires and all. You're right on it. You're just not gonna be able to climb up that. Let's go all the way back up. We'll go all the way that way. Nail it. Right there. Come on, come on.
1,000 miles on that tire looking like that. And then brought it here from Indiana.
Do it. Almost had it.
Since I have a little bit more room between the ground and my bumper, I decided to try Callies line. I swear this mud has grease in it. You can't even stand up in this stuff.
Go left. No, right.
After moving over a little strategic loud pedal, and I popped right up over it.
Hear it?
Next, it was time for Jared and Sarah in the other full-size truck of the bunch.
Yeah, he's going to push over. His track's just too wide to get through there.
Yeah, we might want to.
Rather than trying to bounce and beat our way through, we decided just to hook line to him and play it safe. Last but not least, it was the little Jeeps just came bouncing through. We were about to make it up on top of the ridge top and make our way on out to the blacktop.
If this would.
We all made it safely off of Mountain Springs Road and onto the blacktop. After our assignment there was done with putting the signs up and gathering the garbage, we hit a couple other trails and then we made our way on back to Callies Campground.
So when we took the bench down and put it in one of David's favorite spots on Lower Devils Creek today, we were able to dedicate a memorial bench in his honor. At that time, we put out how many trash cans, guys? 6 trash cans in an area that is notorious for being overrun with beer cans and litter and all kinds of stuff. And the big thing about the byway cleanup ride this fall was trying to incorporate our love for this area.
We made it back to Callies just in time for free pizza, the trail dedication to David Asher, and the rifle. Sunday morning, we woke up and made our way to Little Devil's Creek. This area was one of David's favorite places to come with his family to four-wheel, to play in the creek, and to camp. David always wanted to pick up trash there and was a big advocate of leave it better than you found it. David was taken from us way too soon from a rare brain cancer. For David's trail advocacy, the group from Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway wanted to create a memorial in his honor and hope that everybody else would take these trails and leave them better than they found them for years to come.